Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with another Facebook Live. All right, we have real estate extraordinaire. I just came up with a new logo for him. Alan Zeller, Home Seller. Yeah, baby.
I like it.
All right, Alan, tell me a little about yourself. I think your past is not only unique but interesting too. So tell me a little about how you came to Vegas and a little about yourself in the business, all that stuff, please.
Well, it was about, I think I've been doing real estate here in Vegas for about 7 years. So, up until then, what I did is I trained horses. So you'll see, I don't know which way to point over here. So you see this horse picture over here. So that picture was one of my favorite horses that I sold just before I moved here. So I trained horses, showed horses, for the founder of Remax Realty, Dave Liniger. So it was a great job. I did it for 18 years with 17 or 18 years with Remax itself. And then before that, I went to college at the University of Findlay in Ohio, graduated from there, and then started to write with Remax right after that. So it was kind of a neat little gig while it was going. It was a lot of work. There was a lot of travel involved. And then I went from, training these horses to showing. So we would raise these horses. We raised and stood one of the number one stallions in the U.S., Arabian stallions. His name was a Fire Baby. So he would kick out about 20 babies a year for the farm, between 20 and 25 usually. So it was my job to raise them, and I started to break them, and then would start training them to get them in the ring for Remax. And then Remax would travel around and kind of watch me show their horses. And it was sales, basically. It was a sales job along with horse training. So I did
Love it.
that for quite a while. And it was a long job. I mean, it was working, 7 days a week, all through the summer. Spring, summer, fall was when the majority of the horse shows were. So once I got through, the horse show season, we were breaking out horses for the following year. So it was great. Before that, I did rodeo for a while, going through high school and college. I rode bulls, I roped, I did a lot of team roping. And so I guess I'm kind of a hillbilly when it comes down to it. Once I got into
Vegas was
sales,
perfect, right?
yeah,
I was going to
yeah,
say, I remember I was at Remax for a while too when they first started really in New England, and I met Dave Liniger and his wife Gail in Atlanta.
yeah.
I had lunch with them and a few other people. He's a hoot, isn't he?
He's a blast. He's a blast. And
Yeah,
their son is actually looking out here in Vegas. So I still keep in touch with the family quite often. And the son is looking out here. So we're gonna buy a house for him coming in.
nice,
So
nice.
yeah.
Didn't you work with somebody locally in their horses as well? I thought you had
Yes.
worked with a
So
couple.
yeah. So once I moved here, I really didn't want to get back into horses because I'd worked in it for 18 years. I was kind of over it. But
Yeah,
I was also starting in real estate, and once I got started in real estate, um, I was like, man, I'm not making any money. There was 6 months where I didn't make any money, so I was like, what do I got to do? So I had been in touch with Wayne Newton and started training his horses over at Casa de Shenandoah. So I trained there for about 2 years, and I got in touch with him through Olivia Newton-John originally. So she had horses also, and she
that's
had the
what I thought.
connections. So yeah. So then I was out there at Casa de Shenandoah for a couple of years. So it was kind of like a little dream world out there. You go out there and you got fountains and you got all this like pastures of green grass, which you don't see in Las Vegas, right? And wallabies jumping around in my office. It was such a cool experience. So trained
That's
horses, and
awesome.
then when they were, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I don't think I've ever told you this. My niece Sydney Berube, she just graduated from TCU, but she was on the
Uh-huh.
jumping. My brother and his wife have horses, and
Uh,
but she was on the jumping team, and I think they were ranked number one in the country. TCU's jumping teams. She's look check her out on Facebook. She does a really good job, and she's kind of like you though. She said, okay, I did that my whole life. I'm graduating from college. I'm gonna get a job. She's got a I think she's gonna marry the dude she's with, and she's gonna be
Nice.
just doing horses for fun now. But the jumps, the big jumps over this, and it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that's a whole different equestrian sport there. That's pretty cool though. That is cool. And
Yeah.
horses growing up in when you get into horses, I think it teaches you to work hard, right? You got to take care of the horses. You've got
Oh
to
yeah.
train them, deal with the clients, and most of these clients are rich clients, so we were
Yeah.
selling horses, up to $1 million. So it was,
Wow.
it taught you a lot. It taught me a lot, at least. So when getting into real estate, I was like, this is great. I can semi control my schedule, right? As long as I have my computer with me, or I don't have to show homes, I can just get on my computer and work. So it was a lot different than showing horses and training horses every day, all day.
Yeah, I think I
It's
used to
pretty
have a Morgan. I think I told you I used to have a Morgan. Jesse James was his paddock name because he used to escape all the time. But I used to wake him up sometimes, 5 o'clock in the morning, take him riding on a Wednesday, and it's such a great exercise. It's a great mind clear when you're doing it for recreation. And I went to a dude ranch when I was like 24 in Big Sky, Montana, which was amazing. So I love horseback riding, but you got to be paying attention at all times or you can get hurt.
true. You can get hurt super quick on those things. Yep.
They're so fast.
It's still fast,
Yeah.
and they still get a little grumpy when you get behind when you walk around them, sometimes you can get kicked. You just never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Even a little one hurts a lot.
So true. That is so true.
All
So
right.
yeah,
Well,
and
that's
then
awesome. I love that. Go
once
ahead.
I got into it, and then once I got into doing Wayne Newton's horses out here, that just real estate just took over. So now that's where I am now. So now I'm just trudging through
Yeah.
like
Tell us
everybody
about that.
else.
Tell us about your 7 years because you're always doing incredibly well. We were just talking before we started. You got 6 or 7 pending right now. Tell them how you do that because that's interesting to a lot of people who, I mean, some people struggle with this business, especially early on, like you probably did a little as well.
Oh yeah, I think we all struggle, from time to time. And even when you've been doing it for a while, I've noticed that there's some months where I'm like, oh, I only have one in, or I don't have any in. So it's definitely something that you have to work at, and you have to have a good work ethic. So when I first started, I think I touched base on it for the first 6 months. I don't think I did anything. So I was just hanging out in the office, in the bullpen. I was trying to make friends. I was like the newbie. Not only was I new here in Las Vegas, but I didn't know the job. So I was coming in, and I can remember talking to Leslie Carver and doing some open houses for Leslie, and then it was just learning how to speak real estate for the most part at those open houses. So, getting that started, I think was probably the best thing that I could have done was staying in the office and staying where there's realtors doing their job and the big realtors, and talking to them. So yeah, I started doing that. About 6 to 8 months later, I had my first escrow. So I can remember coming in and bothering Carlos and saying, Carlos, what do I do now? And that was, um, gosh, that first year, that first escrow was my first and last one that year. These people ended up buying with me, and then they sold, in the same year. So, and then I started doing like a lot of social media stuff, like Facebook. I had quite a following off of Facebook with my previous years being in horses, So I kind of started playing off that a lot and doing some marketing and stuff. I never really paid. I've never paid for leads. Maybe I should. That would be great. Maybe that would keep me more even. But I think social media has been a big thing, and doing a lot of networking, going out, and whether it's taking, I remember for a while there, I was taking my one dog who's behind me making noise. I would take him to dog training classes just to meet people in Las Vegas. And that got some business going. So I think that helped quite a bit also, along with the social media. So all that
Good. And
together,
that's such a
combined. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's such a great point. It's a great point when you took your old life and you started doing it with social media and converted it into business. Tell them a little about that because I think I get that's the question I get all the time. Should I take my old stuff? Yeah, I always go yes. Merge it in. It's okay.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a yes for that because everybody needs a house. Everybody needs a roof over their head. So once you implement your old life with the new life, it doesn't matter who's who. People still need a house. So it's kind of interesting. Horses, the good thing about being in the horse world is I did it nationwide. So I was able to connect with clients all over the nation. So because I was traveling and showing them. So that put me in touch with everybody. Just not like it wasn't very local. I used to live in Michigan. So obviously that wouldn't do me good here. So, but I have had some sales that have been horse people or clients or amateurs in the past that have bought and sold here in Las Vegas, and I've represented them. So I think that's helped a lot. Doesn't matter whether it's old or new people, you just keep in touch with them, right?
Every time I talk to somebody who's from Michigan, they always go, "Okay, I'm from Michigan. I'm from right over here." You know that how they do the hand? Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
that's hilarious. But yeah, so now you must find, and because Dallas, I mean, excuse me, I was going to say Dallas. Las Vegas is a spot where a lot of people are moving to. So you must have a decent amount of people that you've talked to across the country that are actually coming here and making it their home now, aren't you?
It's
Or a
huge. I
decent amount
work with a
anyway.
ton of, yeah, a ton of buyers. The six that I got in now, I think four are no, five are buyers. So, it's kind of wild. It's definitely a
Yeah,
thing where we're moving so many people into Las Vegas, and I think that really does our market a lot of good. People are leaving California. They're coming up with some weird tax laws and stuff. I don't think that's helping California, and we just happen to be the next state over that's good with property taxes. So here they come.
yeah. I always joke with my friend. I love California, but I always joke with my friends and say, yeah, we need another, politician to introduce more taxes or a new way of paying for electric so we can keep that wave coming. Because California always has plenty of people moving into the state. It's already really over. 15% of the country lives in California. It's crazy.
Isn't that wild? Isn't it wild? Yeah. And I have seen Vegas just explode since I've been here. And I know even before I got here 7, 8 years ago, I mean it was building up. But just at the end of my street here in Southern Highlands, it was, you could look out and see desert up into the mountains, and now you just have houses. You have residences.
Right.
So it's kind of cool to see, and they go up so quick, which is amazing to me. In the Midwest, nothing got done quick. So out here, you have a whole community going that seems like a month.
Right. No, it's so true. And it's a big destination, California. I mean, all over the country, like you just said. And I like what you said before we started too, Alan. You're saying that a lot of your buyers you're working with right now understand that the rates are what they are, and they're not even really talking about them anymore. And they're still buying. They know they can refinance within 12, 18, 24 months,
Yep.
whatever. I think so. People that understand the inventory is low. If you don't own or you want to change, good time to do it before the rates go down, because once that happens, I think all heck's going to break loose.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I can imagine when that happens, it's gonna be wild. We're already getting multiple offers, and my two listings now. There's multiple offers on those within 2 days. There were so it's good. And the two I put under contract this weekend. Well, one was a new build, and the other one we were competing against 10 other offers. So and we got
Wow.
it.
What's the new
So.
build? If you don't mind me asking, what did they get for an interest rate?
So the interest rate is a 2.2. It's flexible, 2.2, then 3.2, then 4.2. So which is
Like a two
helping
one
my
buy
clients
down.
quite a
That's
bit. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Those
Yep.
those builders were smart. They bought a bunch of money, blocks of money, and so that's really good. And but like I said, we'll have the rates will be coming down. But even until then, people are definitely moving. And if but, I mean, I've been in the business 39 years. I've never seen inventory this low in my life, in my whole life.
Right. Right. You're seeing a lot of California license plates.
You certainly do. Ain't that the truth? You sure do. And you know what? Keep them coming. We love California. Woo!
Yep. Bring them in. Bring them in. We'll sell them houses.
Yeah, I grew up in southern New Hampshire, and we used to say the same thing about Massachusetts buyers. They were all coming because it was so much. The cost of living was better. We also had no state income tax, no sales tax either. So it was really a good place to move to? Work in Massachusetts, driving in New Hampshire.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, one of my best friends lives in New Hampshire. That's a beautiful state.
It really is. It
Super.
really is. It's a great place I go back to visit all the time. Okay, so all right, so in order to be successful in this business, my favorite question to ask the people I interview, Alan, is this: what are the top three things you tell them to focus on? Like, okay, I want to be good, I want to have business. What would you focus on the most?
Picking up the phone. Every time somebody calls, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone, answer the phone. Yes, that's so important. It's frustrating, realtor, when you need something answered and you go to call that agent and the agent's not available. And you may not get a call back for 2 days. Well, that puts everything way behind. So I think that's a huge one. And then another one is just play nice in the sandbox. We're all out there working. You know, talk to the agent, be willing to work things out. Everybody play nice. I think that's huge, but I think that goes with, gosh, the world in general. I think everybody just
Right.
needs to be a little, yeah, working together is really really
Totally agree with
important.
that one.
Yeah. And then I
Totally.
think the last one would be, as soon as you have a problem, like as an agent, like something that has really helped is immediately, decide, okay, this is a problem, what's the plan of attack to get me out of this? Or help my clients, and let the clients know right away. And almost, hey, if they want to get involved, which some of them do want to get involved, yeah, let's brainstorm. Let them get a little involved, but know that you know your job and you're giving that job. So I think the plan of attack with any issues that come up, because they come up in every escrow, is to just meet it head on right away.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Pick up your phone. That was one of the things when I moved to Vegas 12 years ago and I was looking for a place. I was like, what's up with these agents? I can't get in touch with one. They're like all secret agents or something. I feel like I'm down in the Pentagon on a weekend or something. Nobody picks up.
It's crazy. It is crazy. And even
It
if you're
is.
trying to make an offer, I had one this weekend that was trying to make an offer, and I was like not getting anything on the other side. I'd like to make a connection with that agent saying, hey, got this offer coming in. What can I do to help your sellers out? What are they looking for? And there was just nothing. So, I don't think that person was doing their clients justice, because you're not picking
Yeah,
the phone,
being
you're not making
unavailable
sales.
is not good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay, absolutely. All right, cool. And then play nice in the sandbox. I mean, that's a great way of saying be professional. You have a code of ethics. You may want to consider following it once in a while. We were just joking. I mean, real estate is an interesting business, isn't it?
Yes. It is, and if you have I had one recently where the agent reached out to my clients, and I was like, oh boy, that's a no. You do not have a duties owed with my client. So yeah, not the smartest move on some of these people. Keep your
It
nose
just,
clean, and
I
this.
don't, yeah, I just don't understand how some of them think. I mean, I just don't understand. Well, it goes back to like you said, it's not only in the sandbox here, but it's also in the world. It's like we're getting to one of those times where you're wondering, okay, when is it all going to erupt?
Right, exactly. It's exactly right.
All right, cool. And then when there's a problem, yeah, I mean, letting it wait doesn't make it any better. It usually makes it worse, right?
Makes it way worse. Yeah, and not only that, it gives me anxiety. I want to get everything taken care of right away, so I don't have that anxiety. I don't need extra anxiety during the day.
Yeah. No, agreed. And a lot of times we as agents don't realize that if we have anxiety, we do this all the time. Imagine our
Oh,
sellers and buyers if we're feeling it, right?
oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they're kind of out of the loop. Yeah, we got to keep them in the loop and keep them moving. I agree.
All right, cool. All right, awesome. Any final words you want to leave these lovely people, Alan? Anything else you can think of that I didn't ask you?
Gosh, I can't think of any. I can't think of
All
any.
right.
I didn't know this was going to be a face to face, so you know how nervous this makes me.
Well, let me just tell you, you did incredibly well. And we've been going about 21 minutes here, so we're good, my man. I really appreciate you taking your time out today. This was awesome stuff. I know people got some tidbits out of this. So thank you very much for taking your time out today and sharing with everybody. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the invite, Rick. It's always good talking to you.
Same here, my buddy. Thank you.
Take care. Have a good one.